and today I have something very fun to show you just in time for Christmas, and all your kids are maybe thinking about what they want for Christmas, making out their list, and so perhaps this will help you out a little bit. So today I'm going to show you how to make these little letters to Santa with your Cricut Maker, and also this adorable little felt envelope that you can put them in and mail them off straight to Santa Claus at the North Pole. So anyways, I think this is such a fun little cute craft idea for you to do for each child. If you want, you could put each kid's name maybe on the back of the envelope and put these little letters in there and have this as a little keepsake each year. It would be so fun to look back years from now when they're 18 and see what they wanted each year, see how their handwriting's changed and that kind of thing. And so I cannot wait to show you how to make these, and I'm going to show you on the Maker how I'm doing it with some green felt, and then I'll show you the other things. I've already cut out some of the pieces so that you won't be just bored watching me cut things, but let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how we're going to do it with the felt. So I already have felt. This is just a piece of green felt that came from the Cricut, and I have it loaded on the fabric grip mat, which is extra sturdy and really keeps holds this down in place great. For the fusible fabric that I'm using, that's what this right here is, this fusible fabric, and on the inside of the envelope. For that, when you apply it on here, you may want to use, this is called the Brayer. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you will want to kind of press this over your fabric to make sure that you have it adhered really well, because if not, and it comes up, you're going to mess up your cut completely. So if you look in the description below, I have a link to the cut files and to the project in Cricut Design Space, so you can click on that. It takes you straight to the project. You can either customize it, change a few things if you want, or you can make it directly as the way I have it designed. So right now I have it pulled up. I am going to go ahead and cut the envelope. I'm not going to cut out the paper and all of that with the pens and show you how they do that, but just the felt today. And what it is telling me is that I need to make sure that I have the scoring wheel loaded into the machine. And so right now I have the Rotary Blade. So let me grab the scoring wheel down under here, and it also tells you which one, and this would be the 01. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have loaded in here. This scoring wheel is gives a much deeper score than what you might be used to getting with just a stylus. So I really love it, especially when using it on materials like this, because it gives it a deeper score so that it's a lot easier to fold it. Paper might be a little bit easier, but material wants to, you know, doesn't want to fold just like you want it to sometimes. So we have our mat loaded in. I'm going to go ahead and hit go as I have my laptop connected, and it's already going in Design Space. So we have the green, or the flashing little Cricut emblem, and we're going to go ahead and start. And right now it is just detecting the tool to make sure that I do have the scoring wheel in place. And then it is going to go ahead and start scoring my little folds. And basically it is just scoring like here at the tops and the sides, so that these fold over very nicely. It doesn't take long at all. Now it is telling me to go ahead and take that one out. And we're going to change that blade. Now, it is telling me to put in the fine point blade, but what I would like to do is put in the scoring wheel. So I think what I'm going to do, or not the scoring wheel, the Rotary Blade, because it cuts so good on felt, I'm going to put that one in. And what I'm going to have to do is probably change my setting in Design Space, which I meant to do that already, but I'm hoping it'll let me change it real quick. And if it doesn't, then what we'll do is just cancel this cut. So right here, this is real life, right? Which is fun. I love that. So you see, even I end up making little errors and mistakes. So what I'm going to do is, what you have to do is when you are wanting to change what it is specifying for you to make, with which tool that you want you to use, you have to be careful that you change it also in Design Space, because if it doesn't recognize the correct tool, when it detects it over here on the side, then it's going to tell you to load it instead, and it won't cut it like you want it to. So what I like to do is go into Design Space, and I like to edit tools sometimes. I usually do the recommendations, but when I'm doing felts, I like to do the Rotary Blade. And so I have that corrected now, and I have the scoring wheel put back in there, so it's not going to hurt anything to go back and do the scores again. Of course, that might even be nice because it'll give me a better score, so that when I'm folding the material, it wants to stay in place. So, like I said, this is real life. I love that this kind of thing happens sometimes, so that it gives me a way to teach you and share with you how to do those things. So when you're in Design Space, if you just hit Edit Tools on that screen, you will be able to change it to whichever blade you want to use. So you don't have to use the one that it always recommends necessarily. Okay, so now we've got a little bit deeper of scores, and I'm going to take that one out. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in the Rotary Blade. This thing is a lifesaver. It's what makes cutting material and fabric on the Maker so much easier. So we have it loaded. I'm going to go ahead and hit the go again with the little Cricut logo. Again, it comes down, detects the tool, and then it'll come back and finish cutting out the envelope. So you can tell while it's doing that, I'll show you, you get very nice crisp cuts using the Rotary Blade. You could certainly do it with the fine point blade. I just like using it for even the felt as part of the cloth and material, because it just makes it you know, very simple, very easy, and it gives it a good crisp clean cut, which I really like, so I don't have any frayed edges, or if I'm trying to take it up off the mat and it's wanting to stick to the negative, I don't have to worry about that either. And so we are done. We're going to go ahead and we'll take out our mat, and that is all I'm going to be doing with the Maker for right now. So let me go ahead and just shut that up. And I want to scoot it out of the way a little bit so that I have some more workspace to share what else I'm going to be doing. So now that we have it cut out, go ahead and just pull off. And you see how easy it is to pull this off. It is such a breeze. So I have the excess to the side. I'm going to go ahead and pull off my envelope there. Put my mat over here to the side. And you can see those score lines, how nice, and I hope you can tell how deep that those score lines are. So it's going to make folding this envelope up, well, let me get it the right way, such a breeze. Perfect, okay? So what we're going to do now is I need to show you the other little tool that I used to put on to when I did the vinyl, the iron-on. And so I have this white part as the iron-on, everyday iron-on, and then the red and white stripes is the fusible fabric, and this is also fusible fabric. So if you'll just look down in the description below, I'm gonna have links to different supplies that I'm using here, and also a link to a blog post that goes into more detail as far as the specifics on the supplies. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, you can check those out too. But this was with iron-on, and so what I did with that was I used the Bright Pad. This is the Cricut Bright Pad. It makes weeding and tracing and other things so much easier to do. And so you just hold down the power button. You'll see this beautiful bright light comes up, and then you can also adjust the settings all the way down. Some things work better with it not being quite so bright, and then having it as bright as it'll go. And so I did that. I used my, you'll hear my Easy Press is beeping at me because I haven't used it yet. But I used a little weeding tool, and I just went through, removed it. And you see I have some kind of intricate areas here with that snowflake and in between the letters. And so this Bright Pad really made it so much easier to do that. So that's what I wanted to show you about that in case you do projects that have intricate cuts. I kind of steered away from them for a long time just because using or just not having the Bright Pad and having to weed it myself does make it very just very tedious, and sometimes I would get frustrated, so I would steer away from those. But now that I have it, I'm loving being able to do more of that. So let's go ahead and let me show you the fusible fabric that we're going to put down. And that's what I want to show you with the Easy Press. So I had already cut out this. This is also in the design for you. And that's kind of like where I want to lay it. If you'll notice, I want it to kind of be even up here at the top because this is the part again that's going to show, just like you see here. So let's go ahead and get our mat. And this is the smaller of the Easy Press sizes that I'm going to be using. This is the 6 by 7 inch, I believe. It's the smallest of their Easy Press tubes now, and I love that they have these sizes. This is so fun for little projects like this. And so actually, let me pull this over where you can see it. And this is the smaller of the sizes, the smallest one. And I have mine already set to the temperature that I need. If you go on Cricut, I can leave a link down below, but they have an interactive reference guide that when you're using the Easy Presses, it tells you if you put the material you're using, what you're ironing it onto, it will tell you exactly what to put your settings. It'll tell you if you need to preheat and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get our piece of felt right here on the mat, and they also have these Easy Press mats in all 3 sizes that go along with the sizes of the Easy Press to protect your work surface, so that makes it really nice. So when I went on to the interactive guide, I put in that I was using fusible fabric onto felt, and it told me to go ahead and preheat for about 15 seconds. So you could hit your little Cricut there and have the timer going down so that you know, or you can just kind of count it in your head. Either way, but it said to preheat for about 15 seconds. So once I get to 15, I can just turn that timer off by clicking the Cricut logo again. And then I return it right back to its base, which is really nice, so I don't have to worry about it burning my work surface at all. And don't worry about if you see little creases where you've ironed it. That is okay, because you are going to be ironing and it'll eventually go away once it cools down. So I just place my fusible fabric, kind of try to center that up the best that I can. And then this is a protective mat. If you don't have one of these, you should definitely get one. They're very inexpensive, and I love it because sometimes putting the Easy Press right down on it, to me, I feel like it may get too hot in a way, even though it may not. I just like having this little mat because it also protects, what I'm talking about is the outside surface is getting too hot. If there's something I don't necessarily, need the heat on, but it happens to hit it, I don't have to put an extra piece of cloth under here to protect it. This does that for me. It's just one easy step right there on it. So let's go ahead and put this right down. And so hit that timer. With this one, I'm actually going to turn it sideways, and I probably should have went up in sizes on my Easy Press when I was doing this to the middle size. I have the other 2 sizes, and I don't know why I didn't even think about it, but it would fit this whole thing on one easier than this, but that's okay. So we'll just do this section, and then I'll have that little small section up at the top that I'll do next. So see, sometimes you just have to improvise, just like with the machine. This is most definitely real life, and this is what happens. And if you don't happen to have all 3 sizes, this is what you would do. You just pick it up and move it to the next little section, hit your timer, and so it has me going with fusible fabric at 305 degrees Fahrenheit and for 30 seconds. So once this gets done, it also said to apply a medium pressure to it. And once it gets done, it did say that I need to do about just a little bit on the back. I can't remember if it was 5 or 15 seconds to do heat on the back of this. And so that's what I want to do now. When you remove this, be very careful, because these, I will not even think and touch it and just about burn myself. So don't do like I do, because it does not feel good on your little fingertips. All right, now we have it flipped over, and we're just going to set it for just a little bit, not too long, and you can kind of move this around. You don't have to leave it in one place. And then you are done. So there you have it. You can tell it is fused beautifully onto that material, just perfectly. So then what I would do next is, I won't bore you with showing you exactly how I would do it, because it's very simple, similar to what you just did on the back. But you're going to flip your envelope over, and I have this little square or rectangle cut here that you want to look for those score lines. And so there's the score line there. And it might help if you just kind of pull this up like that a little bit so you can kind of see where that's at. But you want to get this laid evenly. And you just kind of have to play with it for a little bit to get the material to cooperate. Then once you do, it's fine. But you get that laid down, and see, that's what you're going for, is you want to have it all the way on the outsides. So once you do, you will just do the same exact thing, put your sheet over it, and then iron that on with the easy press. Now, the next part is going to be your iron on vinyl. So once you have that adhered, you want to measure this up, get it where you want it, lay it down. You're going to put your mat over it. Now, iron on vinyl going on felt, they recommend you do it at 280 degrees. So you would want to go ahead, come over here, get that down to 280. Wait for the heat to come down. See, we're at 302 now. Wait for that heat to come down because you do not want to burn it or sear the iron on too much, and it'll start kind of raveling and wrinkling up, and you don't want that. So once you do get that down to the temp you need, put your mat back over it, and you will iron that for 30 seconds at 280, and then you can flip it over, set it just a little bit, not too much because you have the fabric on the back already, and then you want to peel it off while it's warm. That will help you to get it off so that this backing is not sticking to your vinyl, okay? So the warm peel is important. And that's all there is to it. So I hope that this helped you see how easy the Maker can cut out felt. A lot of people are hesitant to use different materials like leather and fabric, and I have done all of these and I just love how it turns out. The Maker makes it so simple, especially you know, I was curious how it would do with the felt, and you see that Rotary Blade gave me a beautiful, nice, crisp cut, and it worked perfectly. I am one happy customer. So let me just show you one more time. We've got the little Santa Claus North Pole envelope. You could even put back here on the back a little bit of Velcro so that that would help keep it down if you wanted to do that. All I did to get my envelope attached, I'll show you on this green one right here, was I folded these two sides in, and then for the bottom, pull it up and kind of get your crease good like you want it, and make sure everything is even up here because that just bothers me. I like for it to be level. And then you don't want to put your glue in certain places, because if you put it all the way across here, see how that's going to stick it down? You're not going to be able to get your letter in there. So all I did was go around just here. Here and here. Those are the only places that I put hot glue, and I don't put a lot because I don't want it to burn through the felt, but just put it right there. And when you do that, it's going to adhere just to these two sides so that you can still get your letters in and out of your envelope. So don't make the mistake of getting glue happy and then it's stuck there and you can't get it past the glue, okay? But once you just put it on those outsides, your letters go in perfectly, and then you have little letters to Santa Claus. These were so easy also to write out in the Cricut. I use the Cricut pens that you can get. They hook right down into the slot, and they write beautifully. Gives you a perfect little, looks like a stationery that you would order, and you could change this up any way that you want to. In the design that I have in Cricut Design Space, you could actually type out what you wanted it to say if you wanted it to, and it could write it for you. So either way, I just think it would be precious to have your kids' handwriting on there, and just something that you could keep from year to year. You could put the date on it, and it's just a great little keepsake memento to have. Plus, they love the idea of sending their letter to Santa Claus, so they make sure they get what they want under the tree on Christmas morning. So please let me know if you guys have any questions about the Maker, about using it with felt or the Easy Press 2. I would love to answer them. Just leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you guys again very soon. Merry Christmas!